I've been slicing and dicing my way through Back 4 Blood, collecting Ridden headshots like they're going out of fashion. If I had a penny for every Ridden I'd blasted into smithereens, whew, I'd be decently well off. But let me tell you something. Developer Turtle Rock Studios has made my job easy this time around. Back 4 Blood runs exceptionally well, and you don't need to do much to get the most out of it. So let's get right into it with some performance figures from our 3 gaming PC setups. These are 3 PCs built to match your usual modern, budget, mid-range and high-end machines. Obviously the high-end PC powered by an MSI RTX 3080 absolutely tears through this game, even at 4K with the high preset enabled. More surprisingly though is the GTX 1650 super-powered budget rig, which manages 120 FPS at 1080p. There's even passable 4K performance out of the budget rig if you turn down the preset to low and add a little upscaling into the mix. So let's switch our attention to upscaling for a moment, because Back 4 Blood offers literally all of it. You can pick between traditional spatial, AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution or FSR, and NVIDIA Deep Learning Super Sampling or DLSS in Back 4 Blood. Really though, we recommend skipping the spatial upscaling, which is kind of just your regular blow the pixels up to make them bigger, and looking at FSR or DLSS. DLSS support depends on whether you have an RTX 20 series or newer NVIDIA graphics card, while FSR will work on just about any modern GPU, so it's much more open. Both offer significant performance boosts in game and often without all that much loss to the visual quality. I recommend you try out FSR Ultra Quality or Quality settings for a decent uplift in performance, or if you're running DLSS, enable Quality mode. If these don't give you the FPS you're after, knock down to balance mode. Below the balance modes in either FSR or DLSS, you may start to find the loss of clarity around some edges is more noticeable than before. It's nothing too major if you're running a high refresh rate and bashing Ridden to pieces, but if you want to stop and stare at the sights, then you might want to consider other ways to boost your FPS before hitting performance or ultra performance modes. Presets are your best bet to dramatically increase your performance in a pinch, but you'll need to drop down to low to really feel a massive increase in performance. Moving from epic to high and medium presets, each step only performs a little better than the last. That said, even medium or low preset looks pretty good. You really only notice the loss of fidelity when it comes to foliage, like the odd bush, and a few textures here or there, so it's a pretty good trade-off. When it comes to anti-aliasing, I recommend you stick to TAA rather than FXAA, if only because it seems the higher quality anti-jaggy tech of the two, and the performance impact of enabling TAA over FXAA isn't all that great. Okay, when we're talking style points, this really comes down to personal preference, but when you're playing a game like Back 4 Blood with upscaling enabled, you want to retain that sharp image quality. Fidelity Effects sharpening is a great way to bolster your image sharpness, does what it says on the tin, if you feel it lacking with the potential upscaling available in the game, that is. But what I'm talking about mostly is turning off chromatic aberration. This setting adds a little strangeness to some edges in the game, and that's kind of what it's intended to do. It's meant to look like you're viewing the game through a lens. Got to say, I personally really dislike it, so I recommend you turn it off and keep the picture looking clearer. Those are the tweaks I recommend for Back 4 Blood anyways. But like I say, this game runs like a dream on every piece of hardware I've tested it on. So really, I'm just saying you should jump into the action pronto, because this game runs super well. If you want to get more benchmarks and figures, head over to PCGamer.com for the full performance analysis, and stick around for the news, reviews, and features published daily. See you then.